What up, good people? What up, good people? What up, good people? Man, the racial and political and religious climate now is actually going kind of crazy right now. There's so much going on in this world, we're not even realizing really what's happening. Just looking at this heat, looking at everything what's going on, they're saying this climate change, they're saying it's this. But what about the political change? What about the racial change? What about the religious change? No integrity anywhere. Just everything is going crazy. Nobody's being held accountable for anything. We're letting things slide, or we're just allowing things just to happen all the time. I put a video up. I seen this video online, so I just reposted. I shared it about these kids being harassed. These young black brothers and these young black kids being harassed on the Asbury Park beach. The young kid had video of the police just following them all day long. They was out there all day and they got video of them following them all day long. And it just seems like it's okay for them to do this. And then nobody speaks up. Everybody just allows it to happen. And they're saying, we just want to make sure there's no threat, or we just want to make sure you're not doing anything. So just walking around is a threat. Just walking around on the beach is a threat. Anytime you go to the east side, there's a threat because you're black or because you're walking around. And you know me, I don't pull the race card a lot of times. I really don't. I actually never pull. I hate even calling it the race card, but I don't pull the race card at all. I just speak truth. When black people are wrong, I say black people are wrong. When white people are wrong, I tell you when white people are wrong. When the Jews are wrong, I tell you when the Jews are wrong. When Hispanics are wrong, I tell you when Hispanics are wrong. I tell you about everything. I don't pull sides about Republicans and Democrats. When one side is wrong, they're wrong. When both sides are wrong, they're wrong. I speak it as it is. And I don't really take offense to it that, people call me a racist, or they call me a misogynist and all this other things just because I speak truth. When I call out a man's actions, you jump on board and it's okay. But when I call out a woman's actions, I'm misogynist. So this is the double standard that we have in everything, not just in life or not just society. I'm talking about in everything we do. There's always a double standard. It's okay for me to call out the brothers when they're doing wrong, when, we call out that, when they're bad fathers, or we call out, there's bad preachers, or there's bad this and bad religious churches and all these other things. That's okay. But as soon as I step on your toes, it's wrong. Nobody's saying everyone's perfect. No one has ever said that. But we get to the point that we just let things slide and just everything's okay. Just like someone put up a post today about, a couple of scriptures that they put up. And I said, bro, when we can't take scriptures out of context. I said, these two scriptures, as standing alone, they seem controversial. They seem controversial, but they're not. When you read the whole thing in context, it puts it in context. It puts it fully in context. So the scriptures they're not going against one another. They're actually married to each other, and it actually makes the same sense. But we don't read before and we don't read after. So these things are going on in this world about the just the political climate change that is going on, and everyone thinks it's okay. If you stand up to the white people, you're militant. If you don't stand up, then you soft. To the black people, you need to stand, or just let it go. It's okay. Or these YNs are just acting out, and everybody's talking about, well, why they got hoodies on? They look suspicious. So a black hoodie makes you suspicious. In the wintertime, I wear a black hoodie all the time and keep my hood up because it's cold. And sometimes I got to work with the doors open and this, that, and the other. So I'm in and out of the building. So when I'm sweating, I got to make sure I'm warm. So when I go into a store, now I'm a threatening person because I got a hoodie on. But the white brother that got a hoodie on, he ain't threatening. He's just trying to stay warm. He's just dressing for the climate. So these YNs that you call YNs are not supposed to be walking on the boardwalk just to have fun. We got to stay on our side. They gave you a little old park with a Charlie Brown tree in it, and it's okay. See, all this stuff going on, COVID-19, the shutdown should have woke a lot of people up. A lot of things that I've been posting, a lot of things I've been saying this for years. And now we're seeing the fruition of it. Now we're seeing it come into reality, Now it's like, it's not as bad as I thought it was, because what they did is the frog in the pan mentality. They put you in the pan and they slowly turned up the heat, but you don't know you're cooking. You think you're in the bathtub, but you don't know you're in the pot. And you're looking around, there's carrots around you, there's Brussels sprouts around you, there's vegetables all in it, they pouring seasoning all over you, and you don't know you're about to be cooked. Because the bath water is comfortable right now. But as soon as it comes uncomfortable, you're going to be clawing your behind trying to get out that pot. But people has been warning you the whole time, and they call you a conspiracy theorist, and they call you a whack job, and they call you crazy, they call you all these other things, they call you a nut job, just because you've been reading other things and you just don't look at the mainstream news all the time. So this whole aspect that we've been warning people and telling you that that all the government's that is politically incorrect, and they don't have the best interests of the people. All of them. It ain't just Trump. It ain't just Biden. It ain't just Kamala. It ain't just Bush and the Clintons and all. It's everybody. They all have been complicit the whole time. I've been telling you to look up Psalms 83. Been telling you to look this stuff up. Why they've been erasing history. Why they've been doing certain things. It's to hide certain things and to hide people, but also to hide themselves. Remember, they stand in plain sight and we don't even know who they are sometimes. Just like it says, see, we believe the part, or you can entertain angels unawares. We believe that part, but we don't think that we can entertain demons unaware, or we can entertain other beings unaware also. That there's not other, if there's angels out there, if you believe in that, if you believe in angels, so you believe that angels are around and we can entertain angels unaware, but you don't believe there's other entities out there. You don't believe there's other spiritual beings out there. And these elites and these people and these families and these bloodlines that rule the world, we don't really believe they really exist. But we've been posting these things for years. When I posted the thing of the pyramid, and that had the elites on top, and then you go down and have the movie stars and have all these other people, and you keep going down a succession, and then we're at the bottom just being played, not understanding what's going on, not really even understanding what's going on. So us as watchmen on the wall, we try to warn people. We try to let people know, like, yo, something is up. This thing don't look good right now. Everything is kind of crazy right now. But we look at it as, oh, that person on the wall is crazy. Remember, in the Bible, there was a poor man at the gate, and he was trying to warn everybody that the city was about to be attacked, but they didn't listen to him because he was poor. I don't have prestige like a lot of people. I don't have a big platform like other people that can say things and then people will listen. I don't have thousands of followers, and I don't have, millions of people watching on YouTube and Facebook and all these other platforms that everybody has. I don't have that. But what I can do, I can be consistent and just keep posting certain things. And as a watchman on the wall, we look like we're crazy all the time, because at the poor man that was sitting in the gate, he was sitting in the gate and nobody listened to him because he was a bum and he was a poor man. But he sat at the gate every day, so he seen everybody coming in and everybody going. So he literally seen these spies coming in and out the gate. So he actually knew what was going on. He says, these people don't live here. They're coming in here scouting out the land. They're coming in here looking over the city, trying to see the weak points in the city and trying to see the strong points. So when they come in to attack, they can understand how to overcome the city. So when he sounded the alarm and told them the city's going to be under attack, they laughed at him and they ridiculed him and they pushed him aside. Then when it finally came and they seen the army marching over the hill, then they tried to prepare. But at that point, it was too late. Start looking at these other resources and these other things going on, and not just the main news, and not just one thing, and not just one thing. We got to stop just looking at one thing all the time. We have to start looking at everything. Everything we got to start looking at. Not just one thing. We got to start looking at everything, because then that'll open up your eyes, that we can start having wisdom and start having discernment and understand. What's up, good brother? How's everything? Hope you're doing good in this storm, man. It's crazy out here. It just stopped, so I'm out here right now, just chilling in the breeze right now after a hard day of work, man. It was hot today. But we don't look at these things in spiritual discernment, because a lot of things are going on and we're being distracted. Only thing Satan can do is distract us from our purpose and distract you from what you're supposed to be doing. That's all what he can do is distract you. So he's trying to throw you off your game so you can't do your job. He's trying to throw you off your game so you can't walk in the purpose what you're supposed to be walking in. So you're not supposed to be doing the things you're supposed to be doing because you're worried about everything else but your own job. And this is what this world is about. About the FIFA, about baseball, about football, about the people climbing the tower and all these things going on. So many distractions going on, and we don't see these people passing laws right under our noses. We don't know what the Supreme Court is voting on while all these distractions are going on. We don't understand what these wars are really about and why these wars are going on. Yeah, I saw the whole thing forming. It was crazy out there. Yeah, it was. You seen it literally coming over. But all these things were happening. We don't even see these things really happening until it's too late. So us being watchers on the wall and us being the builders of the wall and repairers of the breach, we do not understand. We do not understand. Yes, sir. We do not understand. Even though now this natural weather of the heat of the 105 and 112 heat index and the storms and all this stuff going on, and you see this climate going on, it's the same climate that's going on in the spiritual realm. It's to distract you. It's all to distract you and deter you from doing what you're supposed to be doing. And this is the reason why we don't walk in our purpose. This is the reason why we have a form of godliness but don't have any power. It's because we're so distracted and we're looking at everybody else. We're looking at how they do church. We're looking at how he preaches. We're looking at how she sings. We're looking at how they do this and how they do that. And why is their church growing and my church isn't growing? Or we're looking at how these people can move the crowd. But are we really affecting people? Are we really affecting people? Now the same thing that I talked about the other day about this brother, this Jewish brother that I used to work with for over 10 years and how I led them to Christ, about 6 Jewish people to Christ because they seen the life that I was living. And trust me, I'm not a perfect person. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they seen how I went about my day. And they asked me questions, and he was like, brother, I feel that I'm so far from God, and I'm supposed to be the religious person. I'm supposed to be the one that's supposed to be a godly man. I'm supposed to be the one that is God's chosen people. And this is a Hasidic Jewish dude. Straight white Hasidic Jewish dude. And I'm able to talk to this brother, and I'm able to lead this brother and talk to him and lead him back to God. See, he knew we had a thing where we knew he knew who the Most High is. So we had a connection there. But when I was able to talk to this brother and sit down and he called and we talked, and this is years of talking, he was like, man, you know more about the Bible than I do. You know more about the Torah than I do. I said, yeah, brother, because you follow the Babylonian Talmud. See, people get on me a lot of times because I read a lot of other stuff. I study a lot of religions. I study history. I study indigenous cultures. I study a lot of stuff. I study bloodlines. I study these elite people. I study Illuminati and the elites and all this stuff, and then wonder why. And I don't know why God always had me looking at this stuff all the time. I never understood why, but now I know. Because my purpose is to lead people that are not churchanized people. I knew my purpose is to lead people that are not in organized religion. That I'm going to talk to people that have never stepped foot inside of a church sometime, or that did not grow up in the church. So now it says, make your calling and election sure. I understand what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not fully sure of everything, but I know where I'm supposed to be walking in. And now I'm able to talk to this Jewish brother that hates Christ, that think Jesus is burning in hell in doo-doo, in excrement. That's written in their Babylonian Talmud. So me understanding their Talmud, I'm able to explain certain things through prophecy, through Isaiah, through Genesis, through the book of the law. I'm able to look at certain things and I'm able to explain things to him because of that. So this racial climate change that we're looking at now, how they was messing with these brothers on the Asbury Park boardwalk for no apparent reason at all. They're just walking around having fun and they're racial profiling them. And you know, I ain't one of the type of brothers that pull the race card. I don't even call it the race card. I don't call it that, but I call out truth. I call out the Democrats. I call out the Republicans. I call out white people, black people, religious people. I call out everybody. If women are doing wrong and they're picking stupid men to have babies with, I call that out. If men are doing wrong and they're picking dumb behind women to have babies with, I call them wrong. I call them out also. But you call me misogynist when I talk about one thing. I'm not misogynist. I'm just speaking truth. But why are they bothering these brothers on the boardwalk? And then we say nothing. Yeah, they're definitely not on code, sis. Definitely not on code. And this is the problem. When you're silent, you're complicit in the problem. And I'm talking about black people. I'm talking about white people. I'm talking about all y'all. You call me your friend. You say certain things. And you, my boy, bro, you're doing good work, bro. You're doing this. So I see you out there, man. I see this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. You're doing certain things. But then you're quiet when it's time to stand up to help your brother. One of the great laws, it says, love your brother as you would love yourself. Do unto others as you would do, as you want them to do unto you. But when it's time to do unto your brother or sister, you don't want to do it. You just watch them get abused all the time. We are the ones that can make a difference, but we all got to be on code. All of us got to stick together. I just put a post up about letting our light shine as the light pops on. I just did a thing about letting our light shine. Like, you let your light shine. I'm not dimming your light. Don't be jealous of my light because my light is bright right now. Don't be jealous of that. My light is going to combine with your light to overcome all kind of darkness. We definitely got to be ready to. Nobody wants to be that martyr. Nobody wants to be that person to stand up. But I'm that type of person that I'll support everybody. I got people that don't agree with me, but I still support their business. I got people that don't agree with me that were on different sides of the political parts of it, and I still support them. I still hit the like button. I still do this. I still share their videos. I still share their business. I still support them. I still try to encourage them because it doesn't bother me. We're not always all going to agree. That's why we have a democracy. That's why we have certain things, but we're not in we should all be in this together. One of the most basic things that we look at on June 19th when during the the boat thing, when they had to ride on the boat or whatever, and they hit the dude with the chair and all that stuff. When that was going on, we should learn from simple things like that. One brother was in trouble, the whole community came to help the brother. The whole community came to help. He threw his hat in the air, the bat signal went up, or the black signal went up, and then we all went. Brother swam across the river to get to his brother, saying, I'm going to go help my brother no matter what. I'm going to go help this brother. I'm going to stand in the gap. Oh, do you want to beat? No, the sisters came and was starting to beat up the other women and saying, no, I can't do this, but they going to do it. Everybody came in and helped to help one brother because he was in trouble for no reason. This is what we should be like. We should be able to help one another no matter what, and we don't. This is the problem. We spend billions and billions of dollars. The black church spends billions and billions of dollars, and our communities are still the same way. Still the same way. Something is wrong. Now, there are good churches and there are bad churches. There are good preachers and there are bad preachers. I'm not lumping everybody into the same thing when I'm talking about the religious climate. I'm talking about the people that are not doing their job. I'm talking about the watchers that are not on the wall, that are not doing doing what they should be doing. And I'm not talking about just feeding people or clothing people. I'm literally talking about helping people, helping your brother and sister out. The only thing we're worried about is that church. We're worried about getting a new car. We're worried about being blessed. We're worried about having a new house. We're worried about all these other things. And these things are superficial. They're all going to pass away. When I win at anything, I'm helping my peeps. Definitely. And we don't have a lot, but what we do have, we can share with somebody. We can buy some sandwiches for somebody and hand them out when somebody's going through. We can help anybody. A little bit goes a long way. They used to call me the peanut butter and jelly man and the apple man and the bologna and cheese man, because I used to stand out on the Ave and hand out apples and oranges and juices and stuff like that, but still preaching the gospel. And just handed them out. And I spent my last $20 to do it. Then when I needed help, the community came and helped me because I lost my job. I broke my ankle and I lost my job and I needed to pay my rent. So it was like 90 degrees outside. I stood outside in a black suit, 90 degrees, held up a sign and says, I'm not asking for a handout, but I'm asking for help. And the people that know me know that I don't ask for things. I never asked for money when I was out feeding and clothing people by myself and I was doing it on the app. I never asked for money. I never asked for donations. If you wanted to help, they knew 100% of the money went to donations. See, Paul preached the gospel and he says, I don't want you to give me no money, or you don't have to give me any money, because I don't want this gospel to be chargeable to you. I don't want you to tell me what I need to preach. You can give me something or you ain't got to give me nothing. He says, I've been rich and I've been poor and I've been satisfied with everything I got. So I'm out there and I needed my rent paid. So I stood out there in the suit and said, look, I need help. I do the best I can to help other people. And now I'm able to, can you guys help me out? And these people came together and I spent my last $20 and they had a sale at Walmart and I bought some oranges and some fruit and some water and I was handing it out. And the community came together and blessed me and I was able to pay my rent. You already know that we used to go back in the day. Yes, we did. Yeah. So I understand this. So there's times when I can help people, but as I'm helping people, I'm in need at myself also. We're all in need as we're helping. But if you see your brother, are you just going to walk past him and step over him? And I know some of our own thing is our own plight. Some of our problem is our own problem, that we need to police ourselves. We need to police ourselves. But it still doesn't give them the right to walk over us, and then we're not standing together arm in arm with our brothers and sisters. So we literally have to keep doing this thing and do the best we can to help one another. And just keep pushing for this thing and stop letting people run over us. When the community stands together, we all can get this thing right. But we don't want to get out. And I'm not saying voting always helps, but in your local elections, voting helps. Going to these little meetings that they have behind our backs that they don't publicize all the time. They might put it in the back of the newspaper or post it online in this little obscure website and let you know they're having a meeting, and then nobody knows about it. And then they pass these laws that don't benefit us. And that's why you see one side of the city looks all built up and everything looks good, and the other side of the city looks like they put a curtain over it. And they pulled a dark gray shade over it, painting your buildings gray and black. Why would they paint your buildings dark gray? They know that when they paint your buildings a certain color, it brings down your vibrations, and it brings down your attitude, it brings down everything, because all you're doing is looking at dull colors. It's not giving you a vision of vibrancy. Your mind is not active when you don't see bright colors. That's why they paint everything dark in the hood like that. So on the west side, they do everything crazy. And they're doing this. Wherever we act up, we checked one another. Yeah, we only went but so far. We never went overboard. We never went overboard. So this is why we should help one another. We don't have a lot, but what we do have, we can help somebody. We can help somebody. I remember we've been storing up water just in case the power went out and all this other stuff, and we had an overabundance of water. So we just went out and packed it in ice, and we just went out there and just started handing out water, in the middle of the summer. Just giving it to people. Tell them like, the Lord loves you, man. Keep your head up. Keep your head up, sis. Keep walking. Don't give in. Do not give in to all this stuff. It's going to get better, but we got to keep trying. But we at least got to plant a seed in somebody. Plant that seed in somebody and say, sis, you're beautiful. My brother, you're a good, strong brother. You're just running into some hard times right now. So we just got to keep going. We got to keep doing what we got to keep doing. And don't get weary in well doing. Don't get tired of doing the right thing. That's the problem. We always say, these YNs ain't gonna never get it right. They ain't gonna never get it right. So you give up on people? Stop giving up on people so quick. When I was at the mission, I preached there for like 10 years. 10 years I was at the mission preaching there. And I seen brothers come and go. And one of the main things that was good for me, that I was steady. I was consistent. And the brothers that came in, they say, bro, you still here? And then I had other pastors and other people looking at me. Hey, what's up, elder? What's going on, man? So I had other people looking at me and saying, bro, you still at that mission, man? You should be doing bigger and better things. Nah, my people are right here. I need to help these people, these brothers right here and right now. Everybody's always not called to be behind a pulpit. Everybody's always not called to be preaching or teaching in the class. Some people are called to the streets. Some people are called to the train station. Some people are called to the Ave. Some people are called to the parks. Yeah, we are asleep. We don't see what's really going on behind the scenes. I look at the big picture all the time. I understand the red and the blue and the Democrats and the we get this. We talk, we go at each other's posts all the time and we talk all the time. So we understand certain things that when we look at this stuff, when we look at these things, when we look at all this stuff going on, we understand that there's a bigger picture in it, and it's to kill us. It's to try to wipe us out, but they can't. How are we still 13% of the population? Why? We're not 13% of the population. It's impossible. They just make you think that. We're not minorities anymore. What do you think Pharaoh did in Egypt when he says we must deal wisely with these people because they outnumber us and then they're going to side with our enemy? They know we're so overpopulated. They know we're so many of us. And don't even talk about the Hispanics that are just having babies out the kazoo. They just popping them junks out like jelly beans. So don't think that we outnumber, that we don't outnumber people. We do. And they try to make you think that we don't, because they want you to make you think that you're powerless. That's why they do that. Why you think they have all these secret meetings and don't want you to be in on everything and don't have your best interests at heart? So this is the problem: the racial problem, the political problem, and the religious problem. We're blinded by false religion and false realities. We're blinded by fake political leaders that we hold up and thinking that, oh, it's this and it's that. It's both sides. Both sides are freaking crazy. Both sides. And when, once we come to realization with that, then you'll start trying to understand what the total climate's all about. The whole climate is hate. They hate your guts. Hate you because who you are, and that we're still standing after they kept putting their foot on our necks. They hate you. Just because who you are, they hate you. Just because what you look like, they hate you. Just because how you sing, they hate you. Just because how you talk, they hate you. Just because of your heritage, they hate you. That's why they're trying to wipe out your heritage and your indigenous culture and all these other things, and because they know that eventually it's time to pay up. It's coming, and they see it coming, so what they're trying to do is cut you off. So they're trying to pass these laws. Kill the economy, kill the middle class. Because who's going to hurt more? Black people, brown people. And then it's a lot of these other brown people that are a worse enemy, because you signed on. Your community is getting built up. They give you stores, they give you bodegas, they give you all these things, and give you all this welfare, give you all this other stuff, and then you look down on us. But you had to come here to make a better living. But you look down on us and call us lazy, but don't understand what we had to go through. Don't understand what we've been going through all these decades, all these years, all these centuries. What we've been fighting for. That everything what they've been doing, everything what we've been doing, they've been passing laws to hold us back from the very beginning. And it doesn't stop at the end of slavery or Juneteenth or whatever else you want to call it. Because we fought on both sides of the war, the Civil War. The Northerners fought on one side and the Southerners fought. We fought. Only thing we was looking for, like, yo, we just want to be free. We just want to have our own. And then once we got our own, y'all burnt that junk down. Yeah, they hate us. Hate us. And they get all the benefits and they want to call us lazy. Even the Africans, they call us lazy. And they call us, oh, y'all got all this stuff, and I come over here one day and I got a store already. Yeah, you got a store because when you look at your birth certificate, it doesn't say black on there. A lot of people don't even understand what's in the Black Laws Dictionary when we call ourselves black. You're non-existent. And the laws do not apply to you under maritime law. That's why when you walk in that courtroom, they railroad you. Every single time. Because you're practicing under a certain law and that you don't even understand what law you're practicing, and they hold all of it. That's why you walk through the gates when you go up there to approach the judge. You're walking past the bow of the ship. You're on maritime law. And this is a simple thing, a simple concept that we don't want to look at. And all these people work for the same, they all work for the same people. They all go out and have drinks together. All of them. So I just came on here, man, just to shed some light, just to talk, man, just to get a lot of things off my chest, man. But we got to do better. We got to help one another. If you say you are friends, man, stand up for us. Stand up. If you say you with us, put your fist in the air, but use your fist back also to fight back, to fight this power, to keep going, to keep doing what you're doing. Because we all got to stand tall in this thing. We all got to keep working. And we all got to help one another. And we're not. We're not looking out for one another. It's like, I got mine, you get yours. But we don't understand what everyone's going through. People can have a smile on their face and look good and look like they have peace. But home and on the inside of their heart, they're going through a lot and they need help just like the next person. About to lose everything. So keep pushing. Keep running. Stay strong. Don't let anybody dim your light. Because when my light shines on your light, and it connects with another light, and it connects another light, we put out this darkness. But we must stand together. Am I my brother's keeper? Am I my brother's keeper? And the answer should be yes, I am. Nobody wants to look at the story of Cain and Abel when Abel could have talked to his brother a little different and maybe satisfied that little squabble. Like, yo, bro, man, if you do this and do that. See, they don't look at it from Cain's side. They always look at it from Abel's side. And I'm not saying Cain was right. But could Abel have done a little bit more to squash that beef with his brother, or squash that uneasiness? See, when we don't talk about things, we just assume things. That's why a lot of times I don't like texting, because you can't hear the inflection in my voice when I'm texting, and you think I'm popping off at you, but I'm just writing, I'm just texting and responding to you. But you think I'm being smart with you, because you can't have an undertone of the spirit of when you're looking at a text like that. And you can't understand the feelings that I'm feeling by looking at words like that. You have to hear my voice. You have to hear my sentiments. You have to hear what I'm saying. You have to feel what I'm saying. So this is the reason why we must stand together on every issue. We're not always going to agree, but we got to be united. We got to stand together and help one another and do something. We're not always going to agree. Nobody's always, even in our families, we don't always agree. But we live together, though. But we function together. Stay together. That's the problem. We don't stay together. We have to look out for one another. We're family, and we need to stay family. Remember, it takes a village. But the village is separated because we're looking at everybody else. Or we're too worried about just us, and we're trying to build our own little anthill, and we're looking at a whole bunch of beetles coming over to destroy your anthill. And if we stand together, we can kill these other beetles that's trying to come get us. But we're worried about ourselves. We got to stop being crabs in the barrel. We must stop this. This is the problem, and this is the reason why, and I'm glad they videotaped that stuff that happened on the boardwalk today. Because now there's evidence of seeing how people look at us and seeing how they view us. Bunch of black, young YNs walking around, think that they're causing trouble, and they just walk around chilling, having fun, enjoying the beach weather. And you're harassing them. You're harassing them. But nobody wants to stand up. But I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. We're going to get this thing together. We got a lot of things coming up, and that I'll be on, and we'll be talking about in the near future, that we're going to be doing some things to bring the community together, and to bring other people together, and to bring churches together, bring pastors together, ministers, and all these things together, and stop trying to be the man. Stop trying to be one up on everybody. Stop trying to be the one that I got to be on the flyer. I got to do this. Why can't everybody be in the back? Seems like we got more ministers and more this and more that, and nobody sitting in the pews. But we're gonna get to this, and we're gonna get a lot better. I love y'all. Shamma, God is with you.